And we are live. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I
Hello.
haven't been out of bed for more than an hour, so this is awesome. But welcome back. We're on episode 3 of our Heartbeats and Perfect Sync actual play, um, the Rifts. And I'm just here to have a good time. So I'm just gonna let Rook take over, and we're just gonna introduce ourselves and our characters and all that great stuff. So go ahead, our lovely storyteller Rook. What's up, fam?
Hello. Hi, I am Rook. Once again, I will be your GM for the session. Um, yeah, I'm excited to cause some angst.
You all set?
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Arnica coming to you from behind a black screen as I protect my eyes from all light. The snowstorm is sitting in my brain and I can't. But I'm still here to play with y'all because I love you so. I'll be playing Sirius Scarborough, and we're in for it this week, I believe. Because my Harold, our bagels, we're wasted. Let's do this.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing Izzy. Sadly, I didn't get to show up last week. My cat has a fancy collar on her head now. She's very angry at me, but yeah.
I am Colin. I'm gonna play Alex Zivajinovic, also known by his possessed demon alter ego Axel, who I don't know. Like last week, it got real cute. Like there was dancing and cutie slice of life anime kind of stuff, and that was awesome. And now it's probably gonna get sad because we know that like heartbreak is like in the episode title today, pretty much. So, well, look, I mean, hey, looking forward to that darker tone, I guess, today. It'll be fun. We will get through it together. Looking forward to it.
Like a family.
Like a family.
Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Valdrianth on the internet. This is my channel. Today we bring Jackie. They are our resident cryptid of the group. Pretty determined that the cryptid and Jackie are just the same person, or at least she thinks so. And it might too. As far as last episode went, it was she was very proud of her best friend for getting a dance with this cute chick, and so she's like, awesome, I'm no longer needed here, I'm gonna go hunt rabbits in the forest. And just like bounced without telling anybody. And so we'll see how that happens today. So I just want to remind everyone, wherever you affect a game, you get affected the game with your bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies you donate to the channel puts us in a reroll pool. So if we need, if anybody here that rolls dice does a shitty roll, we're like, yo, I'm going to use that reroll. And you can do that. On top of that, if you subscribe to the channel or gift subs, we have another pool of extra D6s that you can donate to. Because the more dice, the better in this game, because the more chances that you have to succeed. And if you want to donate $10 to Streamlabs or coffee, you can give Rook an idea for a pulse, which is essentially like a monster or a feeling or an event, an embodiment of what's considered bad here, or misunderstood. We'll see about that. Of course, all of the ideas you give are at the discretion of Rook. We don't cross any lines and veils that we all have established here. So, with that, that's all I got. I'm gonna drink my coffee. Rook, take us away, friend.
Last time on the Rifts, after falling out of the portal, after helping / slaying a rage pigeon, what did I call you? Conduits find themselves with some free time. We get a sense of Jackie's life, we get a sense of Alex's life, we get a sense of
Serious.
Sirius's life. The name is right there. What am I doing?
Listen, it's okay. It's a day.
Yeah, it's all good.
And we ended the session with the baconing, where our
Uh-oh. We lost Colin. Let's see what happened there real quick. His internet died, he said. Okay.
That makes
I will
sense.
just rearrange cameras, and if he comes back, he comes back.
Cool. Where our main characters got drunk, got high, ate bagels, and then eventually went on a night out where the events just described by my lovely cast did occur. With that all out of the way, let's get into the Rifts, episode 3. I feel like if this was an anime, we would be seeing like the anime intro would play, and then it would like cut off like directly before the main chorus. Like it just stop. It just end there. Indeed, the storm ate Colin. Do you want me to continue, or do you want to?
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch to Splash real quick and just see like what's going on, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, we're back after some technical difficulties. I really hope you heard that sweet baby kitty. Like
That was the loudest meow.
Yes.
So
we
She's
already
not
did
even very
our
close to
intro.
the mic.
Yeah, we already did our intro. So Rook, if you would continue to
I'll let you know, Rook. The last thing I heard was "so last time," and then my internet exploded.
So let's just jump into our intros.
So for Colin, so basically I just summed up what happened last time, and then I said, if the show had wait, are we reintroducing ourselves, or are we just going straight back into
No, we're
it?
not reintroducing. We're fine. Just
Yeah.
Cool. If this show had an anime intro, this week's episode, like, it would get to the climax and then just immediately cut off. Like, no chorus, just bung. Stopped. So, with that, Izzy.
That's me.
Hello. After you had like dealt with the pigeon and returned to the regular world, everyone went their separate ways. Some to go to work, some to go to sleep. Where do we find Izzy that day?
Izzy, after grabbing the art supplies they'd kind of stashed at, I do not remember Sirius's bread shop's name, and all of my notes disappeared into the ether of my computer. But after retrieving the art supplies they had left at Sirius's bakery, they would kind of set up shop near the mall there, as it's probably the place where the most people kind of gather at once during the daytime hours, in theory. And as both an artist and a people watcher, it's kind of, it's good to see people. And their normal stock and trade, just because it's what sells, would be doing like more pop culture-y things. So I suspect them of, with the rage thing, kind of drawing like Mega Man-y and like Double Dragon-ish sort of things today, much more video game oriented than they might normally go, which is fun because pixel art is really good to do with the stencils and spray can approach that they use.
So, for the audience, remind us, what is Izzy's medium of choice?
Izzy paints using spray cans and stencils onto canvas or heavy stock paper, depending on what they can find and is cheap enough that they can afford. So then they will cut out stencils out of paper or cardboard and spray paint onto their canvas, and they're using various other tools. They blend and mix. I can't do it, but I've seen people who do it in real life, and it's amazing to watch.
Time out. Is he just Banksy?
No.
Okay.
This is on artwork, and
Okay.
like I said, they're doing
No,
pop
Izzy's
culture stuff
cool.
because it makes money.
I mean, to be fair, that's what Banksy would say if asked, "Are you Banksy?"
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I see you.
So Izzy will do that. They also have their jank-ass keyboard that becomes their guitar shetty set up in the background and set to pre-play like the covers that they and Axel work on from time to time in the background, as just kind of to draw people's eye and to also have something going on. Because working without some sort of sound in the background that's methodical, especially in high traffic areas, drives them crazy. No way. Need something. A beat to listen to.
I'd say today you have a I'd say as the day progresses you get like but like larger crowds than you're used to. Like it's not like overfilling like the area where you work, but it's definitely like larger it's definitely large enough that it's like significant to you. Um, hmm. Who, in as much detail as you'd like, who would you say is a regular of yours who like is usually there when you like set up shop and like begin to paint?
I think the most regular sort of person with the artwork I imagine Izzy ends up doing just on the street here would be the arcade owner and a few of the more enthusiast of the patrons, not the kids, but the ones who go there to like, oh, this machine is from 1982 and is a vintage blah 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 blah. I know just enough of that stuff to sound smart if I have to talk about it, but not enough to really shout out anything in particular. But those sorts of collectory sort of like, oh, I have the house in my, the room in my house that is full of pinball machines and Pac-Man and ancient arcade games sort of people.
The type of people who would like very much enjoy your Mega Man stuff.
Yeah. Although normally they do more like anime characters.
Yeah.
But today they had an inspirational moment earlier, so they're going with video game work.
Cool. Actually, yeah, I think one of your regulars. I think this is an average height, palish skin, like long blonde hair, regular of yours who I'm going to... Wait, hang on. Is the name Frank already taken? I think it might be. Frank is already taken. Their name is Joe.
I was going to say, I feel like if we're going anime, something like Joe Johnson, I feel like they love going with American characters.
Oh my god. Okay, yes.
Detroit Smash!
So Joe Johnson is kind of like watching you work, and says, "Oh, Izzy, I'm loving this."
Thanks.
How does Izzy usually react to people like trying to like, is it more of a like polite but I'm in the mood, I'm in the zone, don't disturb me, or is it
it's trying to go just facially, but yeah, it's more of a that mixed with kind of a I don't really know how to deal with this per se, especially if there's way more people than normal.
Okay.
It's more of a I have to draw attention to myself and at the same time don't want to have any attention drawn to me.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, like say you had like only like a couple of people, this person especially, like this person is one of your regulars, like
that's true.
Would you usually talk to them, or is it kind of like a...
they would my brain hadn't really gotten through this yet, so thank you for asking, because now I'm like, okay. Wait a minute, let me this is actually someone they know, so they would talk to them a little, yes, but a little distracted because they are concentrating and so there's the standard like work talk of thanks. Was there anything in particular you wanted me to do with it?
They look down at your piece. They shake their heads and say, "No, it's cool. It looks different. I like your take on it."
Thanks. I had an interesting experience earlier that kind of drove me to it. Somewhere in there is going to be this like crow hidden in the background of it.
Ooh.
Uh,
Oh, that sounds rad. Oh my god.
like not necessarily in the forefront, but just like somewhat hidden.
That's cool.
Uh, in my mind, this is kind of a, what do they call those? Not a collage, but one of those pieces that have a bunch of different characters kind of worked into it in different spots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Like Capcom loves to do for their anniversaries and stuff, where it's just like,
Yeah, like an ensemble piece.
yeah, ensemble. That's the word I was looking for. Uh, of kind of what happened today, but not exactly because people don't need to know the specifics.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, is there anything else you wanted to do at your station, like doing art
Uh,
or?
I don't feel like we need to role play it out, but they would talk to the guy about buying it because they do need money
Okay.
to live.
Oh yes. Yeah, yeah, they'll buy it.
Um, just because it's not super important to be like money
Yeah,
isn't an important factor of the game, but
yeah, yeah.
it is of
But
life.
it is of life. Cool. You very happily get a sale on your piece.
Awesome.
Let's move on later to that evening. You get a text in the group chat saying, I don't remember what the specifics were, but TLDR, the baconing is happening.
That was the whole text. It was just the
Oh.
bacon. It was the
Oh,
baconing
okay.
with a pin, and that was it.
Okay, you get a text saying the baconing and then a location pin to Alex's house.
Okay. They're gonna stare at the phone. People have kind of thinned out a little bit now. They're gonna kind of gather their stuff together as they're finishing, and kind of every so often looking at the thing and seeing what's going on, but not quite the thing. The phone. Nick has words; he can use them. As they kind of gather stuff. But isn't going to respond. They kind of instead go home and why are my words not working today? That's inconvenient. So they're gonna go home and kind of set things away and just kind of collapse onto the nearest bed or couch-like substance, which is probably their futon, because I imagine they live in a very small apartment. So it's probably more or less futon and the food stuff right there, computer desk, art supplies. Oh, and the spot by the door where you put your shoes and whatnot. That's important.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
As you do that, I think with your permission, you are reminded of a pulse that you had to fight with Herald and Bastion. It was only the three of you there. The rest of the player characters had like arbitrary reasons for not being there. You remember it because it was the pulse kind of appeared not through a portal, but was just kind of like manifest in the real world, like near like one of your regular spots where you paint. You remember I think it took the form of a a dragon, and its main anchor was this feeling of when it. Oh, there is a blizzard. Okay, the feeling of like when it snows lightly, like only like an inch, and you take a step out into it with like a boot on, and it crunches. It kind of like it had that sort of feeling, just kind of like emanating from it. What would you say is the one aspect of that fight with Harold and Bastian there that you remember most?
That. Izzy would remember of that particular fight the fact that Harold and Bastian were able to together kind of come up with a way to lock down the beast a bit more than we normally do with their more defense-oriented powers. They kind of more imprisoned it instead of just, the rest of us kind of just smash things, / cut them to ribbons, / eat them. And so that struck them as a very unique thing they can do. Which grabs Izzy as a I don't know, the act of locking up the monster resonated with them in a way. And kind of that feeling and remembering it.
As you're remembering this, your phone gets another message. I don't know if you'd have it like on loud or whatever, but it's just a text from Bastian to the group chat, confirming that they are coming to the baconing.
It's on their kind of nightstand.
Yeah.
It definitely rumbles. They kind of look at it and aren't quite able to reach out for it right now. Whatever headspace Izzy's in, they kind of just not, almost like they sapped of energy. They're just I had words for it earlier, and they're
kind of exhausted.
They're exhausted, but not physically in any way.
Yeah.
They're just their minds just not able to process anymore today, and so they decided they don't want to burden anyone with their presence.
Okay. With that, I think our camera moves from Izzy, tired after a long day, with many thoughts to consider, over to a forest filled with rabbits, for now, at least. Jackie, where are you?
We don't know where Jackie's at right now. Someone has to come look for Jackie to appear, I would say. Because anyone who enters the forest now, a couple of things happen. Is, that level of quiet that is unnatural? Like in the forest, there are no bugs, there are no birds, there are no sounds of the night. Like, none of that is there. Like, it is just incredibly quiet. And any poor soul that could just be taking a nice little night walk or a hike will hear the lack of sound for a while until they hear what sounds like a creature screaming, but it's slow, like in the middle of its audio, in the middle of it, it just sounds like it's going from a monster, maybe an elk, to a person.
Excellent.
And then it goes super quiet again, as if whatever made that sound is waiting.
Alex. You, after leaving the bar and after searching, you come to the forest. It is, as Jackie just described, unnaturally quiet, other than some sounds you can hear faintly in the distance.
And that's how I know she's here. Because that's part of why Jackie comes out here. Because it's quiet. Occasionally interrupted by the sound of screaming rabbit or, or her herself. But it's, I know that this is a special place. This is a special place for her. Because it's peaceful. And I think even before Jackie was regularly becoming the cryptid, when they were kids, like this was like a place that they would go for like walks in the woods and stuff. It's a special spot. And he knows to look for her here. But he's also really nervous. And he keeps talking to himself as he's going because him and Axel are talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Axel keeps like jumping in occasionally just to offer like, hey, man, I can do this for you if you want. You don't have to do this on your own. Like I can step in.
Sorry, real quick, Colin, can you get back into the Google?
Oh yeah. All my
noticed,
captains are
fine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. When you crash, not everything
Yeah, it's true.
works right again immediately. So Axel keeps jumping in, just like, I can do this for you if you want. Like, I can handle this. I get along pretty good with that cryptid, so, I mean.
And I think, like, as you're going through the forest and arguing with Axel and Alex, like, talking to yourself, that's when you just sort of feel like that's when things get stupid quiet again. And it's not a peaceful quiet. It's, like, a terrifying quiet. And you almost feel like behind you a presence, but also like above you, like you can feel like something almost breathing and just about to like engulf you almost.
So it's definitely one of those stop dead moments. Axel is mid, I can take care of this for you. Feel that? Yeah, weirdly I do. I don't know. We share a body, so if you felt it, I felt it. But what is that? She's close. Oh, she's very close.
Are you turning around?
He looks straight up.
Like you look straight up and you almost see like the lingering effects of like a shadow like wisp away, and just standing behind you is just Jackie.
Oh! Hey, Jack.
Hi.
What's up? Oh, you probably want to talk to him, huh? I'll get out of your hair.
Okay.
Have fun, hunting rabbits. Oh, shit, that's the wrong camera.
Son, how's it going?
Hi, Colin's nipples.
Titties! Sorry.
I hate that stupid thing. But then he does, he takes off, and
Yeah.
Axel takes off, and he reappears. Oh,
Uh-oh. He's just
Okay,
switching
I'm
cameras
fixing
again.
it.
There you go.
yeah, I'm switching cameras.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's a curious head tilt from Jackie. It's like, is everything okay? Why are you here? Did the girl leave you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She left with her friends. Yeah, but it was shitty. I went to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, she was just gone. So,
Do you want me to eat her?
no, why would I want you to? No.
Because it's not cool to do that.
Yeah, but
Like, what a, like, there's just like a seething now. Like, it's like you were doing so well, and she looked like she was into you. I thought you were gonna get it tonight. That is just not okay.
No, please don't do whatever terrible thing you're thinking about doing right now. I'll get over it. It's fine.
There's a kind of a pout. Like, it's like, okay. Like,
I want to taste human flesh.
Not today.
Nah, it's cool. I mean, it's what it is. What are you gonna do?
Sorry about that. Thought you
It's
had
fine.
it. Next time.
It's really, there's no rush, you know? It's happens when it happens. Yeah, so I thought maybe we could just hang out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 3 a.m. Are we just, I guess, like, do you want to just go back home?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I know your sleep schedule's pretty fucked anyway, so.
Yeah,
3
it's, I mean,
you
it's
know,
3 in the afternoon for me, so.
Right, yeah.
But I'm also having residual, I mean, I just had a lot of protein, so.
Yeah, how many did you get, by the way?
My blood sugar is back from all the drinking and the alcohol, and the weed, so.
How'd you do?
I'm pretty sober. And I had a whole lot of bagels, and that absorbs a lot. I'm actually I'm kind of bloated.
We really carb loaded heavy, but how'd you do on rabbits? How many did you get? You can tell me.
What?
I won't judge you.
There's an unsettling moment where she just goes, I did 0.
You didn't get any?
Nah, I didn't get any rabbits.
Did you get something bigger than a rabbit?
You know, I would love a McDouble right now. Do we? I am out of them in my fanny pack.
Okay. Late night Mickey D's run?
Yeah, I guess that should we grab Sirius? Like, did you just leave Sirius at the bar and
She said she was
Bastion and
fine.
Harold? Like, I
She
mean,
said
I
she was
know
fine.
that they're like the adults of us, but
To be honest, I think her and Bastion might be going home together. I don't know. I was getting some
they
vibes there.
used to be like a thing. Like, they used to be a thing, so maybe they're still like a benefits thing. I don't know. Like,
That'd be
it's
cool.
not a, like, if she wants to tell us something, then she can just tell us. But it's cool if it is, and it's cool if it's not. So
Yeah. No, I think they were. They seemed like they were kind of close tonight. So I don't know.
they're
But Sirius was a grown up. She'll get home fine.
like, she was all up in his lap. So in the beanbag. So I mean,
Mhm.
it was hard to tell how much he enjoyed that one.
That beanbag has seen some things. Let me tell you.
Has it? Like,
No.
what have
I'm
you not
kidding.
told me? Like...
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, and again, that beanbag's a hand me down from my dad, so
Mm-hmm.
it may have at some time in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't seen action for a long time, though.
There's, like, as you're kind of like talking to them, though, you see sort of like there's something like stuck in their teeth.
Oh, Jack, you got Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Jack, but you got a little something.
What? What?
You got a little something. I don't know what it
Can
is.
you get it for me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Come a little bit.
Okay. And just like gets in close.
And it gets right up in, and he's like,
It's a piece of denim.
Two things. One, I think I need a pair of tweezers to get that out.
Okay.
Two, why did you eat a pair of blue jeans?
No.
Did you eat someone wearing a jean jacket?
No.
Did you munch your way through a Levi's factory?
Yes.
Glad I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, what happened? Why is there denim in your teeth?
I munched myself through a Levi's factory. It's just the outlet is just on the other side of these woods. Like,
yes, and I know that you didn't actually do that, so why don't you just tell me the truth?
Nah, it's all right.
You didn't eat the girl at the bar already.
I did not eat the girl at the bar. I did.
Like preemptive strike.
Listen. I don't know. I did not eat the girl at the bar. I didn't know that she left you until now. So why would I have like eaten her? Like you have been here the whole time with me.
I know. Sometimes your best friend senses just start tingling, and off you go.
Jackie.
Listen, like.
Jackie, with your
Sometimes
permission.
people die here, okay?
With your permission.
Yeah.
I think it might be interesting, since Axel's technically like a demon, if Axel can feel the soul of whoever you ate, just like lingering in this place. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, it is. It was just some poor drunk vagrant in the woods that followed the scream of the Wendigo. Like, that's exactly what happened. Like,
Hold on, I gotta fix a camera real quick, but
okay.
Hold on, it's a coming, because I'm gonna need Axel for this. There we go. Wait, all right. Start. There we go.
Okay. Hey, nobody asked you to be here. Go back.
Oh, I kind of just pushed my way to the front because you killed a guy.
No, I didn't. I don't remember killing anyone. What?
You gonna play that game?
What game?
Look, if I, hypothetically, maybe, I don't know, took a piss on some electrical outlets backstage at a certain concert venue in a certain town nearby that caused an electrical fire and burned down a club, and only a few minor burns and injuries to like a couple people, Alex would sort of be responsible for that because we share a body. What I'm thinking you're doing is that when you were in your cryptid form, you ate somebody, and now you're saying that you didn't do it because you're currently Jackie. But the thing is, that's kind of bullshit because we all know you're the same person. So why did you eat somebody?
But they had a heart attack when they saw me. I just didn't want it to go to waste.
Is that actually true?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I just wanted to scare the guy because it sort of makes me feel better. But then he was scared to death, and I just...
And then you kind of chomp.
Oh, no, it just went whole.
Right.
I don't know where it goes, to be honest with you. It's just a...
How the fuck are you still hungry?
It's a bottomless pit. I don't understand it. And I don't know how to stop it, so...
All right, well, this one's above my pay grade. Tag, you're in, kid. So you did eat it.
He was already dead. Like, I waited for him to be dead. I didn't actually...
So you ate a corpse.
The circle of life. It was still warm.
That doesn't change the definition of corpse.
Yeah, I ate someone. It ate someone.
I mean, you okay? You feel okay about that?
Well, yeah, I feel great. I mean, I feel a little embarrassed because I didn't want you to know.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why does it matter if I know?
Because, like, I just don't want you to know that sometimes corpses fall in front of me and I take advantage of it. It's kind of gross for most people.
I know it wasn't technically me, it was Axel, but you've literally watched me snort cocaine off of a urinal. So things don't gross me out.
Okay,
Really?
but Alex, snorting cocaine off of a urinal, a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people turn into a literal monster in the forest, scream a trap for people to come to them, and then swallow them.
I mean, true.
It's because I'm not a person, and that's just why. Like, I'm not an actual person, so I have to... It's just weird for people to realize that, and it's weird for you to realize that because you're like my safe person, so I don't want you to feel unsafe around me, because if you do, then I don't have anywhere to be safe.
I guess, Jack, what I'm saying here is that with all due respect, you don't get to tell me what I think is weird.
Okay.
And I do feel safe with you. And I'm not weirded out. And it's okay.
I figure we saved the world enough. Like, one 7-year-old man that had a heart attack that was drunk in the woods and mostly naked. No one's gonna miss him, so someone's gonna miss him. That's awful. That's so awful.
Yeah, you assumed a lot
I'm literally
of things.
the worst. I'm just swallows themselves in shadow and just soul
But
decrypted.
Look at it this way.
Now.
Look at it this way. If you had a family, you just saved them massively on funeral costs. So
I think we're going to cut that. Because that's a really funny place to stop.
Like, you say this, there is just a Hulk of the cryptid, which, by the way, I'm gonna purposely go up 2 heartbeats after that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm purposely doing it. If you don't mind.
That's
Rose.
fine.
Grace,
Yeah.
do not let its favors.
If I eat a sentient being, I just automatically just go up and closer to heartbreak. So.
Yeah, also, throughout that conversation,
Yeah.
I kind of had the realization that we got the spicy biscuit in.
That was the spicy biscuit?
That was, for chat. I don't even know how to explain the context.
It's so hard to explain, I don't even know.
No, it's not. It's not hard to explain. Like, this is what happens, y'all. My cat Romeo likes to hump the blanket when he's making biscuits, and I call them naughty biscuits. And this entire group decided it's now spicy biscuits. So that is.
We wanted to weave that in. We wanted to somehow get spicy biscuit in.
Who is a fixed cat is sexually aroused by clothes. Cloth, okay? I don't know. He came from the SPCA. There's a lot of trauma that needs to be processed from that man. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, Annika, Sirius, up to you. Would you like a scene going home with Bastion, or would you like to move on?
I think I am gonna go home with Bastion because we're wicked fucked up, but we're not gonna hook up.
Yeah. I meant more like the act of like traveling home then.
Yeah.
Do you want a scene with that, or is it just like they go home, they go to bed, that kind of thing?
Um. No, we can do the traveling scene. We can catch an Uber or take a trolley or something. I don't know.
Okay.
How about a trolley? Those are cute. I love those.
Sure, will any be sure, they're running at 3 a.m.
Yes, they are. 24-hour trolleys. It's a great city.
That's the dream.
Yeah. They run every 30 minutes all day, every day.
I want to live here.
So do I. Fuck, I will deal with monsters for a public transit system like that. Easy.
Same. Oh, I could go like rant about the trams here, like where I live. Anyway, yeah, so you're traveling back, like you've got like a little two-seater like next to the window. Um I think the trolley is fairly quiet. There's only maybe like a couple other people kind of like scattered around the carriage. As the city kind of just like passes you by in the early hours of this morning.
All right. I've got my shoes off. I'm holding my shoes. They're dangling from my finger. I'm like half poured into my seat, half poured over Bastion, so that I can watch the lights go by outside the window. They're mostly white, but every so often a blur of neon will cut through the darkness. It's fairly quiet, but someone's headphones are turned up just loud enough that like the bass beat of something is floating through just often enough that you think you know the song, but you're not sure.
I
You know,
think
it's one of those nights. And
I think Bastion, like every like couple of seconds, kind of like whispers to you, like, "Oh, it's definitely," and then lists off some like random song. Like I think like she like starts like listing like classical music, and it's just like, where did you even get this? How would that even sound? Like, um, yeah. Carry on.
uh, and it's very funny because I thought Bastion was full of shit, but now that I'm listening closer, I'm also kind of wondering if that is maybe a trap remix of Debussy, because it feels like it might be the Claire de Lune. So now we're both like leaning really, really close so that we can turn our head as tightly as possible into the sweet spot, because now we're both really convinced that it's a trap remix of Debussy's Claire de Lune. And if it is possibly the most glorious thing I've ever heard in my drunken life.
I want that so bad. Yeah. So are you in the aisle or are you next to the window?
I am next to the window. Bastion's pretty much all that's keeping me from spilling out into the aisle.
So, so I imagine like this person is like a bit further away from you, so it's just the two of you like leaning into the aisle. You're like fully like pressed against Bastion, who's just kind of like there as structural support. Oh, this is a blessed image. Very good. Yeah. Nothing nothing of note happens on your way back. No further passengers get on. The other two get off like a couple stops before you, and then you reach your stop.
All right. I think long and hard about inviting Bastion up for old time's sake, but I'm really just too drunk for that. And I know that neither one of us will be very impressed with me in the morning. And then I'm like, or I could actually just be a good friend and we could hang out and sober up and have some coffee. I talk myself out of a brief momentary slutty flash and back into good friend zone. And I do ask Sebastian to come up and we're going to watch some movies if you would like and have some hot chocolate and sober up a little bit.
They agree. Yeah, you go up to your flat, you like watch movies, you have hot chocolate. I think you I feel like you sober up like what's fairly quickly to sober up? Because I sober up very quickly, so I don't actually have a good frame of reference.
What a curse.
For a lot of people, it's like, depending on how much you had, like, the estimation is like 1 drink per hour kind of level of sobering.
Yeah.
And then,
For a guy.
but if you do stuff like absorb like electrolytes, like the more you rehydrate, the faster, and of course sleep. My go-to is always ramen noodle soup. It is because all of the salt, like, so that way I wake up and I'm not hungover.
As a general rule,
Yeah.
in my life, I can go from let me melt into a puddle to all right, I can safely move myself to where I need to be in the length of Elizabethtown. Not that I've done this so often I know exactly what movie to watch to time it or anything. God, I love Elizabethtown. Also, they watched Elizabethtown.
So at the end of Elizabethtown, you are feeling fairly sober, a couple of non-alcoholic drinks in you, and I think we'll cut from there to the meat of this episode. That was a bad phrasing given what the previous scene.
No,
Meat
no,
of this episode was
no,
human
keep
meat.
it.
That's the episode of the title, The Meat.
It is about, I would say, 5:30 a.m. You are just getting off a movie, asleep, whatever you find yourself doing at this time, when you feel this horrible wave wash over you, accompanied by the sound of glass shattering. It's a loud shatter. Like if you've ever been to or if you've ever seen pictures of one of those fancy parties where they have all the drinks stacked up in a pyramid. It'd be like if someone smashed all of those at the same time, and whatever you are doing, you are jolted into awareness because you just felt someone's heartbreak. For our audience, heartbreak is one of, I think, the coolest mechanics in this game. Every character has a so the dice pool you roll is tied to your health, but if your health goes over a certain value, you become heartbroken, which means your character becomes a villain for however long it lasts. Heartbreak is bad, ultimately, and you feel it happen to one of the 6 of you. You're not entirely sure, because you're not all together quite yet, you're not sure who it is, but you just feel it.
Who's the camera on right now? Sorry, Brooke.
Whichever one of you wants to take the camera.
I think we feel it. Me and Jackie are we're being those little rapscallion kids that try to walk through the drive-thru at McDonald's because it's the only thing that's open. Which I used to do as a kid because they have the pressure sensor that activates the thing, so you have to just jump up and down really hard, and you can make the microphone turn on. So we just ordered McDoubles and are walking, and then just kind of
and junior chickens and a vanilla milkshake, just straight up
we're being gross. Yeah. And you know what? Apple pies. Oh, we gotta have apple pies.
Oh, there's apple pies, of course.
Gotta have apple pies. And I think Alex is mid biting an apple pie and drops it. and just like double over.
Yeah. For Jackie, there's just like a look of terror for a moment because she almost is worried that it's her, but like realizes like no, I'm here, I'm fine. But then like exchange looks to you. I didn't drop my apple pie; it's in my face. Like
Alex is experiencing a double tragedy because someone has heartbreak and he just dropped his apple pie. So in a sense, he has heartbreak as well.
I hand you another one. That wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
And it wasn't you.
I don't think so.
So who was it?
Whips out the phone. Like,
fuck.
Hey team, you felt that? You wanna check in? Just please react with a deer face if you are not heartbroken.
Alright, I'm already 3 floating dots in the group chat while Jackie's typing. I pop up, Bastion's with me, it's not us.
So it's Izzy or Harold. We haven't seen Izzy all day. I'm so worried. We should go to Izzy's house, like, right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Izzy is painting the most disgustingly cute thing you can picture in your mind.
So me! No! I'm sorry.
Like rainbows, pastel colors everywhere.
Adorable.
Chibified, well, it was, except all of a sudden it goes, and just the entire thing is basically scribbled over as they feel the thing, and they kind of just freeze and like don't get your message because they're not even sure where their phone is at the moment. And so they kind of, after gathering themselves, start kind of tearing apart their room looking for it. Not remembering where it is at all.
And just real quick, before we continue, thank you, Weave the Tail, for that rating party of 22. Just a heads up, we've been dealing with depression and cannibalism today, so please take care of yourself if you think that is too much for you. Like, continue.
Yeah, I think, like, as you, like, kind of, like, I think you find it fairly, I think, the rest of you were waiting for about 5 minutes before Izzy, you finally find your phone.
Izzy kind of, it looks like a cat thing as they're like, it's not me, but between autocorrect and quickly typing, it kind of is it doesn't sound like that. You know, it's like when you walk on the keyboard. It's kind of a giant run-on sentence with like the word monopoly in there somehow, and then like wait, and then do a bunch of the deer emoji.
It's not Izzy.
Oh, we were like already like halfway to Izzy's house, probably too.
Yeah, like just woof. Huh, it's not Izzy, so it's Harold.
So it's got to be Harold. Where the fuck is Harold? Hasn't answered yet.
No, Harold hasn't. Harold was at the bar though.
He was at the bar.
Harold brought bagels. Did like there's like a moment where like Jackie is just like, did eating all of his bagels make him break his heart? Did I just have too many?
Jack?
Like, was his blood sugar just too low? Is he diabetic? Do we know
His blood sugar too low?
Is this my fault?
Jack,
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
It wasn't the fucking bagels.
I was just checking. I just don't know what went wrong.
We'll figure it. Hey! We'll figure it out. And he like puts his hands on her shoulders and like, you know, holds her still. We'll figure it out. It's okay. It's not the first time someone we know has had the heartbreak. We can fix this. Okay, it's not the end of the world. We just gotta find him. We gotta find Harold. There's no way around it.
Okay.
Should we get everyone together? I mean, Sirius is probably asleep.
No, I think no. Sirius was typing, so Sirius is probably just like, let's bakery
Oh,
meeting
Sirius
is
point.
probably
Bakery
smushing right
meeting
now.
point. We'll just say bakery meeting point, and we'll gather there. We're in this weird space anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Meet at the bakery.
Meet a bakery meeting, and I just like
Rally point.
point it there. I put a pin at the bakery. Meet here.
We fast forward. All of you have like met up at the bakery. Yeah. The 5 of you are there. Harold nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
Sirius, how you doing?
So I am like, I didn't even bother getting dressed again. I'm there in like sweatpants. I got on slippers. I got my bonnet on. Like, I am obviously stressed because I am out in public in my bonnet. I've got my phone out. Bastion's got his phone out. We're trying to track Harold through our phones. We're trying to find his location.
I like to believe that when, like, we know Sirius well enough that when we see Sirius roll up like in jammies and everything, still we're like, oh, they didn't fuck. They were just watching Elizabethtown. We know how that goes. We know the song and dance. That's like the first thing that he says. They're like, so how's Elizabethtown? Good this time around?
One of these days, they will tell. I know that they'll never tell me what was so bad about the shoe, but I feel like one of these days I'll figure it out.
So there's no one's heard anything from Harold. Nothing.
I flip my phone around and I show that like Harold's pin looks like it's blinking all over town. The way that it kind of fucks up when our magic is too strong, and all of a sudden our electronics start on the fritz. We can't see where he is. We don't know.
Sirius, you remember that Harold went home by himself because he lived nearby to the bar. I say he lives nearby to the bar.
He's dead. He's okay.
All I could. He said he was going home. We could. I don't know. Let's just head there and work backwards, or head to the. I don't know. I don't. Sirius is just starting to. She's losing it a bit.
We're okay.
I think Bastion will like kind of like put a hand on your arm and say, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go to the bar. Let's go towards Harold's house. Try and see if we can find anything. But Harold's powerful. I think we should all be in super form. Super form.
Really
just in
need to
case."
figure out what to call that.
Yeah, we never did come up with a cool word for it. I mean,
I
it's
feel
kind of
like-
different for all of us, you know?
You could just say we need to transform.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Is it morphing time?
It's more. I was just about to say it. I like to think though that like
copyright,
Jackie's. Yeah, I know, but Jackie's been definitely being like, let's say it's morphin time, and I was like, Jackie, we're not just copying Power Rangers. Like we've talked about this. We're not just doing the Power
Oh,
Rangers.
shoot. What was it? Are we actually set in the US or are we set in Japan?
I don't know. Where was that?
I think
I
we're
just
technically
imagine we're
in Vancouver.
Like, I'm just
Okay.
imagining that
Oh, we're in Canada.
So we're going with
We're
Power
here.
Rangers.
the Pacific Northwest because it's fucking creepy.
Because the Sentai don't use that except for the one parody show where they made fun of
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
No, we're
Which
we're
was
in
an
Canada, so if
amazing
we get hurt,
season.
we get proper health care. We'll be fine.
Anyway, so Bastian says, I think we should transform just in case something like attacks us.
Yeah, you're probably right.
When Jackie transforms to the cryptid this time, y'all notice, and y'all would know this because y'all have been fighting with it for so long. They're over like the shadow part of its body, like there's now like a spine and like rib cages like along like bone wise, and y'all would know like when that happens, like the more like Jackie is closer or Cryptid is closer to Heartbreak, the more bones appear on its body. So,
It starts to get more like corporeal.
yeah.
Generally. Yeah.
Normally it's just like the skull and just like black goop, but there's more skeleton over the goop. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna dip out the camera so I can grab my pen off the floor.
Wendigo is so cool.
Hello. Okay.
You
so,
okay, Jack?
I'm not Jackie.
Axel, can you handle this? Yeah, I got it. All right. Hey, how you doing? Wendigo?
I was fucking hungry. Hey, so we have to find Harold. Do you know Harold likes anything? Is anything's important to Harold? Anybody important to Harold?
And he looks over. Axel looks at Bastion. Harold always seems to be with that guy. He's pretty important to him.
Bastion at this point has like, I think you're all like outside of the bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Bastion has like transformed, and when they are like transformed, like they are just wearing like a full like suit of plate armor with these like swirling like patterns kind of like etched into the metal, which kind of like shift and change, and they are like surrounded by their like 3 massive great shields. They kind of say, I mean, usually when I don't know what Harold would attack, like heartbroken people are like erratic, and it's not been long, so I don't know like how, like I don't know where he would be. I don't know like what he'd be doing. I think the best thing we can do is just like track him down however we can, like try and just feel for his magic.
Yeah, that sounds solid. I'm making it a thing that Axel has pointedly not learned like anyone's name. So like he refers to Harold as like that guy, or like he just said like Bastion, like he's always with that guy. He doesn't know anyone's name, but he looks at like Izzy and is like, "Hey, are you gonna do your transforming thing?"
Yeah.
One of us.
Izzy realizes they don't have the keyboard they normally use, so that they close their eyes to actually like summon it instead of.
Of course, you can summon your weapon.
Having it. Well, no, they can. They just don't normally do it. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And kind of transform, but the it's more muted than normal. They kind of just go. Much more like the second transformation of an episode normally is, where it's just like, oh, you're done now.
Yeah, we've already shown you this. We don't need to.
Whereas normally it's the whole thing. But yeah, everything's great. Sirius, you move the fastest. Can you like get up and look around?
I am holding my keychain, but I have not transformed. I'm stressed and I'm mad, and no, I don't need to. Harold's not going to attack us. We've been in some shit before, but this is our Bastion. We've known Harold since we were kids. We've known him since we were like fucking 14. We've been doing this. I'm not going in there to fight him. I'm not doing it. I drove here. I can drive to the bar, get in, and I stomp over to my car and I get behind the wheel.
Serious. He's heartbroken. You might not be here to fight him, but he might be here to fight you.
I slam the door of my car and I turn on the music real loud. I'm ready to go. Y'all can get in the car. Y'all can run.
I'm
Y'all
gonna
run
get
pretty
I'm
fast.
too
You
big
can
for the
run.
car. I'm just gonna get on top of it. like from the first episode, like, you know, just
I'm good. I brought my own transport. Axel's gonna throw his base down and jump on it like a surfboard and
Oh
ride
my
it.
god.
Nice.
Bastian, like kind of like clanks over to your car. Do you let them in with the armor on, or do you like kind of request that they
You gotta
change?
take the armor.
No,
off.
they can get in with the armor on. I've said my piece. I've said that I'm unimpressed that everybody's going in ready to fight because that's our friend. But I also understand. I know that they're right, but I can't yet. I just can't.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Much like that morning. I mean, yesterday morning. In the bakery, like Bastian kind of like doesn't say anything. Like knowing that you know that the best way to cure heartbreak is to like fight. But giving you that space to kind of like feel your feelings. Izzy, do you like hop in the back as well?
Yeah, it's gonna be the simplest, so they'll go for it.
So you make your way towards the bar. A car filled with very like powerful looking people with a cryptid riding on top and like a demon riding a bass guitar, like just kind of like.
And me
Nothing
in
to
my
see here.
bonnet and my Homer Simpson, I am so smart pajama pants.
Don't mind us, folks.
God, Sirius is such a fucking millennial.
And I am really strung out over this. I'm doing it quietly, but my heartbeat has gone up by 2.
Okay.
Ooh, we matching.
Exciting. Cool. You make it to the bar. You feel it's not the feeling of the heartbreak, but you can feel energy. Like it's not coalescing around the bar, but you can like feel it like coalescing in nearby. You don't have like a pinpoint, but you know you are very close by to where the center of something is.
Okay. I slow down. I turn the music way down and I turn my headlights off. The bar has shut down while we've been gone. The outside lights are off. There's nothing but the floodlights in the very corner and up against the building itself. So I creep the car along the quiet road. The street lights are that really bad distance that they use in rural areas where they're like, we technically have street lights. And it's like, yeah, they're like an 1/8 of a mile apart. So thanks for that. Yes, we technically have street lights, you bastards. But we're creeping with no lights on, listening, feeling for anything that kind of vibrates through us. Trying not to give away so obviously our location because, you know, I feel like riding up on Harold right now is kind of like driving up on a moose in the road. I just kind of want to not. And if I must, I'm going to do it with my lights off real slow, ready to go in reverse real fast. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like, it's just as simple as that. You drive around for a bit, like, kind of like, it's almost echolocating, but without using sound. I mean, in 2 of your cases, it's probably very similar to sound, but using your, like, power to just reach out and try to find where things seem strongest. And you come to a park. it's not a big park. Like from like it's kind of like a square kind of thing. Like from one end of like from one side of the gates, like you can see like all the way across it to the other side. But like as you like roll up here, you feel it strongest. There's no like as you look in, there's no portal like tearing open into like some like other space, but you do see no like person, but you do see like a swirling ring of like tiny mirrors just gently rotating in the air. For Val, hello.
Hi.
Sorry, hang on, let me while you were gone, so you have like gone to the bar, and Sirius has like driven around like trying to find Harold, and you have like come to a park where you see like a swirling ring of these like tiny little mirrors just like orbiting the air like slowly up above the ground.
Axel rides. He does that thing, like that cool skateboard thing. I could never skateboard as a kid, but I always wanted to. That cool thing skateboarders do, where they ride and then just kind of like in one swift motion, like hop off and like kick up their board and pick it up. I always thought they looked so cool when they do that. He rides over on his base and just kicks it up and slings it on his shoulder, and he walks over to one of those floating mirrors, and he wants to like look into it and like see what he sees in the reflection.
Do the rest of you follow Axel?
Axel, be careful. That's his the mirrors are Harold's.
Yeah, I know. I just never actually took a close look at one of these. I want to see what I see. Changes.
I'm gonna go ahead and climb out of the car, turn it off. Everybody else has to get out now because I got out of my car. I'm locking the doors. Get out.
I'm out.
Everybody out.
Everyone else is out.
Yeah. So everybody's out of the car. They don't have. Everyone can choose whether or not they approach. I'm going to slowly approach behind Axel, but not get too close. I'm standing like 20 feet back and kind of at an angle. Like just enough to kind of, to more see the edge than really see whatever he sees.
Okay.
As someone who sets traps regularly, who set one earlier tonight, the cryptid is very aware of what a trap looks like, and this looks like a trap.
What's in the mirror?
So like as the mirrors, like they're also kind of like rotating on their own axis, and as like you see the back of one like slowly like rotate towards you, and you see Harold. Like he is standing. Do you remember in like episode 1 when I talked about that kind of like very typical like anime thing where you're in like an infinite space where there's like water on the ground and you're like standing on the water? Like He looks like he's standing in one of those like very calm like neutral standing position, hands by his side. His eyes are closed. He is in a version of his like transformed state. Like usually he is wearing what looks like a military like prince uniform, if that makes sense. Like the like badges on the breast, I
think Prince William at his wedding is what I'm seeing in my head here.
Yeah.
Like with those cool like shoulder.
Yeah, my brain had gone Revolutionary Girl Utanize.
Ray guns. Yeah.
Yes. But the all the like badges that would denote like rank and stuff are like all like kind of like diamond-y mirror. Usually the fabric is very like vibrant. The color changes from time to time. Like sometimes it's this like deep blue, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's red. Now it's all just kind of like grayscale. And he stands there, and as the mirror comes and you're like looking directly into it, he opens his eyes, looks directly at you, and all the mirrors begin to swirl more violently. And I think there is where we're going to take our break.
All right, everyone.
I'm fucked. I'm absolutely fucked.
Absolutely fucked. Yeah.
Walk right into it. We'll do it again.
All right, everyone. We will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll just say 10 minutes, just so we can all stretch and get some food and stuff like that. So we're going an extra half hour on stream today since we were so behind. So we officially end at 4:30 EST. But yeah, we're going on break. So we'll see you soon.
Bye.
back. Oh my god.
I love how we always come back laughing every fucking time.
It's because we say
Well,
stuff
stuff
like,
is
I want a
funny.
nuts and sausage dog.
I never headbanged in this wig, I just realized. How's that? Hold on a second. Let me just see how this. Oh, shit!
I was gonna say,
That's why I haven't
you
done it.
definitely need some pins.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
working okay for a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, Harold is evil.
Anyway, Harold's evil.
Harold isn't evil.
He's
Harold's
just
having-
misunderstood.
Harold's just having a bad day. Okay?
Yeah.
Harold's having
Heartbroken.
a really bad day. I have to go close my door. My room.
Harold's emotions have ran away with him.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Izzy's outfit is grays and reds now, and not the vibrant. Since they've transformed, they're kind of spiking oddly, but
Interesting.
Very
excellent. Okay, so before the break, our team of superheroes were trying to track down their friend Harold, who they had felt had gone heartbroken, which is when a person's powers like go so out of control that they just kind of like turn evil is the word I'm going to use for it, no matter how
it's the easiest to say.
It's the easiest to say. And yeah, we left off with Axel like looking into a swirling like ring of mirrors, and in one of them he saw Harold, grayscale, standing in like a void of like water and sky, and then the mirrors reacted. You will see the mirrors begin to like shake and distort, like their very like existence in this reality kind of like glitching, and then they all kind of like rocket together, and there is a big burst of light. And as that, I think, yeah, you like cover your eyes. It's not bright enough to do like any like you're not like blinded for like any like time. But as the light dissipates, you see Harold standing there in his grayscale like military prince uniform. The mirrors still like swirl around him as he looks directly at you, Axel. What do you want?
There's an awkward pause. There's a long, pregnant silence. And then Axel just says, "What's up, brother? Hey. We're cool, right? Right?"
He doesn't answer you, and he just looks to the rest of you. What do you want?
Axel looks to everybody else like, back me up here, kind of.
I mean, mostly a snack, but
we came to see how you were.
Eyes flick to you, is he? You came to see, and there is a grin on his face as his head kind of like tilts to the side. How I was. Ah, you came running when that pulse went off, didn't you? The breaking of a fragile little heart.
I'm gonna step forward, and it's kind of my hands are clenched in fists. I'm like, Harold, quit fucking around. What? Where? Quit it. You're better than Harold. You're fine. Just calm down.
I don't think that's how.
Harold like does that like very stereotypical laugh and says, "Thank you,"
You're welcome.
and says, "Yes, I am fine. I feel better than I have ever. My power," and he kind of like flicks his hands to the side, and the mirrors swirl out from him, and as they kind of like glitch out, they double and triple and quadruple until there is a veritable meteor swarm of mirrors around him and around you, Axel. You are like in the middle of this cloud. Yes, I do feel fine. And I wonder how far my powers will go. And he grins expectantly.
Harold. It's your buddy Axel. Look, man. You know how this works. You're heartbroken. That's a shame. It happens to the best of us, though. It's okay. We don't judge you for it. But you are not in your right mind right now. There's a couple of important things I want you to know. Number one, this is gonna end. It's gonna go away. You're gonna feel better. And he's kind of like looks back at Izzy when he says that also. And like kind of connects eyes with Izzy. The bad days will pass. And then looks back to Harold. You're gonna be okay. And number two, if you try to hurt any of us, we're gonna have to fight back. And we don't want to. But we can't let you hurt anybody or yourself. Okay? So just put the mirrors down and come with us. Not that I don't appreciate having all these different views of myself all around. I do look very pretty tonight. You gotta stop now.
As you say that, he looks to you and kind of like, again, like flicks his hands, and the mirrors begin to spin faster, and you notice that he's changed the reflections so that they no longer show you. They show like your background. Like, this is just absolute pettiness.
You petty little shit.
I feel like you've seen regular Herald do this as well. Like, this is a very normal behavior for Herald, even coming from this this version of him.
And then Axel, so Axel's been like standing on his base and like hovering a couple inches off the ground. He comes back down to earth and like picks up his base, and he puts his head down, and when he lifts it back up, the fire in his eyes has gone out, and it's just Alex's voice coming out of like Axel's form. Hey, Harold, it's Alex. Really been looking forward to hanging out with you, soon.
He kind of cuts you off. I know who you are, Alex. You don't have to use those tactics. I have all my memories. I know who I was. And now, I am going to have a little fun. And the mirrors, speed up even further. And I think we are going to enter combat. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, this being an anime game, you can talk for 3 hours, in the middle. So,
while moving closer to somebody. Yeah.
So visually, what I'm getting is, how many mirrors do we have rotating or revolving around Harold and Axel?
So usually it's 8. So 8 times 4 there are 32.
32. Oh. Okay, so there's barely any gaps, right?
So it's quite a large area that Harold is
it a circle or a sphere? Is it a sphere of mirrors?
I think it's kind of like
a shell?
two. It's kind of like two rings, and then there are like some just kind of like swirling freely on the outside.
Okay. So it's like two rings, like counter rotating, like rings.
Yeah, they're kind of like
cool.
yeah.
Cool image.
Yeah. So, how this is going to work is like I didn't want to control make like specific moves for Herald and Bastion. So Bastion's always going to take the first spotlight.
Okay.
What Bastion will do is Bastion will essentially run like counter inference. So I will roll his dice pool, and then that will either give you buffs or it will like take away from Herald. I think it's going to like, because Herald has like a pretty high dice pool. So I think he's going to be like specifically defending you from Herald's attacks.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll.
Get out those d6s.
5d6. 3 successes. Excellent. So, Bastion's shields spin just as fast as Herald's mirrors. You can see them like knocking mirrors like out of the way, and giving you brief openings that you can use. Who would like the first player spotlight? I feel like Axel, this might be good for you.
Okay.
I think
When he says like you don't have to use those tactics, because I know I wasn't actually trying to do that, but I see what you thought I was doing there. That like doing that thing where you like use your name a lot to like bring people down. I think the fire comes back on in his eyes, and he's like, "You don't have to be a dick to my boy, jeez." And now Axel's kind of pissed.
That's his boy.
And Alex is talking to Axel like, don't hurt him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Don't hurt him. I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm just gonna make him cry a little bit. And he points the neck of the bass guitar at Harold and shreds like a vicious Geddy Lee riff. Which, fuck it, why not? That just makes lasers come out of my bass guitar. What? I can do that.
That's fine.
Okay. Fine, yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, to a righteous rhythm. So he does that sweet bass lick from YYZ, and a kick-ass laser jumps out of the neck of the guitar. So I'm at 5 heart rate, right? Because we all are. I don't believe I've changed it all. But now our max is now 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So does that change? We become heartbroken if we exceed our max, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So at
Gotcha.
12.
At 12, we become heartbroken. Okay.
Just as a note, so Bastion's heart rate is the same as yours. Harold's is 13, so you need to get him to 14.
Harold's higher level than us?
Yes.
Okay.
Thinking of the 5 heart rate, Izzy actually would like to support Axel in this, since they are also at 5.
Didn't you say you were raising yours up?
No, I
it's me and
have not.
Sirius that raised her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you are going to be rolling together. Actually, first, Izzy, what are you doing?
The musical, as he starts to play, Izzy will kind of play harmony to kind of amplify the effect of whatever it is he's doing.
Love this.
Okay, cool. So both of you roll, and you'll be rolling against Herald. So you're aiming for more successes than he gets. Oh, that's not the right command.
Okay. Also, why haven't we started a band before, Izzy? Jesus. Woot. We need 5s and 6s, yeah? I got 1.
Yep.
I got a 5, a 6, and a 1.
Okay, excellent. So you beat him by 1 success. So that's 1 success altogether, which you can use to raise your heartbeat up or down as you wish. So as you're you both play together, and like Harold kind of like tries to leap away from you and tries to like get a like mirror in between, but you notice like Bastion's shield kind of like knocks it out of the way and gives you enough of an opening to like your song just kind of like reach through and like blasts Harold. Oh, actually, because you're doing technically player versus player. So you may, okay, so you can rate, instead of raising your own or lowering your own, you can raise or lower Heralds by 1.
Oh.
So if you go higher, so you need to like get him high enough that the heartbreak ends, or if you go lower, you'll be in risk of killing him, but he'll be weaker. So it's up to you.
Wait, can I just clarification? Because this
Yes.
is a rule I'm not familiar with. How, when you say raise it to end his heart rate, how does that work? Or
So
how
we
to
have to get him to
end the heart
14
rate?
again?
Yes. So currently he's at 7.
Yeah.
And so you need to like by beating him in these contests, you need to raise his heartbeat up to 14. And once it's 14, then the fight's over. You win.
What, does he pass out or something? Or...
No, he turns. Well, I mean, he'll probably pass out, but he turns back to normal.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I will raise his then. Yeah, I will raise his.
As I remember from the thing, going the opposite and downing it is super dangerous.
Yeah, I don't want to kill Harold, so I'm going to raise his heart rate, which makes it, well, it's funny, though, because we're making him more dangerous by doing that, because we're giving him more dice, but it's the humane way to handle this. So, yeah, Axel's going to, I think what that looks like is that Axel, hits him with the laser, and kind of tosses him off balance with that, but then uses that moment of like vulnerability to try to get through to Harold. So he actually just like shouts like, "I don't want to be doing this, man. Come on, just go home with us. You're our friend. Just cut it out." To try to relate to him a little bit.
Harold, he hasn't like fully lost composure yet, but you see like a twitch, and he kind of like growls, "Stop saying that word," and we move on. So Izzy, doing the team attack was like part of your action this turn.
I just have one thing to add in as we're doing it.
Sure.
They flash to their normal colors when they hit the cord, but then kind of go back into like a grayish yellow.
That's very cool.
But that's all that was part of my, like you said, my turn's done.
Cool. So who, the two of you can decide together who would you like to pass on the spotlight to?
I kind of want to do Sirius.
Curious to see what Sirius will do.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. I'll toss it to Sirius. Yeah.
Okay. So Bastion has his shields moving in a counter movement to Herald's shields, and they're going almost too fast to grab, but not quite. And I'm going to reach up and I'm going to actually snatch one of Bastion's shields, and use it to kind of batter my way forward a couple steps. I'm using it so that even though I'm not transformed, as the mirrors are coming, I'm holding it, like moving it to the side so that I can try to get closer to Harold. And I'm yelling his name. I'm trying to get his attention while I'm doing it.
He hears you and like looks towards you. Like, what do you say as you grab his attention?
Harold, Harold, you have to stop. Please just listen to me. Harold, just talk to me, please.
Harold, again, that twitch comes into his eye and he says, "What is there to talk about?"
We can talk about anything. What happened? Why were you out here by yourself? We were all right there. We could have helped you. Why didn't you call someone?
the mirrors like glitch and like kind of like almost like video game lag. They kind of like stop in place suddenly as like we kind of like move into like anime 3 hour conversation time, as he says, because you were all like pockets of color like returning because you were all drunk, and like I sensed something here, and you know, like handle it by yourself. So I thought I could handle it by myself, and the like color like bleeding away back into the monochrome, and I wanted to handle it, to not have to like break you out of that happy like post club like high, literal high, bagel high, and oh sorry for hitting my mic. And like the color like it stops glitch, the mirrors stop glitching and they begin to like rotate again, slower this time. And now I am free to do what I like. And so I am. And you can join me, or I will kill you.
I'm gonna lower my shield since they're going slower, and I'm gonna step closer to Harold. Harold, of course I want to join you. I want to join you for movies and the baconing, and Harold, come home. We can fix this. We know how to end a heartbreak. Harold, you don't have to fight us. Come home. And I'm gonna drop the shield completely.
Oh, okay. Even though you're not attacking, I would like you to roll your heart rate and add 2d6.
Alright. My heart rate is 7. So we're gonna roll. I have 1 5 and no 1s, and all the rest are 2s and 3s.
Okay, 1 success. I assume you want to raise his heartbeat up.
Yes.
Okay. So Harold, like the mirrors come to a stop again, but instead of that like kind of glitchy like almost forced stop, they kind of like slow and decelerate and stop as he looks to you. I mean, he's been looking at you this entire time, but before it was like he was kind of seeing like past you, like not looking like directly at you, but kind of just like looking like over your head. But he like locks eyes with you. No. And the and as the mirrors like begin to like continue spinning, but you see on his shoulder, you see a patch of color, like it's like watercolor like bleeding through paper. You see it just kind of like bleeding into existence. Most of him is still like that monochrome, but there is like a patch of color.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. All right. So I'm within the range of the spinning mirrors. I'm maybe a little bit ahead of Axel, but am I within the rings? Am I close to the free floaters? Like how in danger am I of getting hit now that they're moving again?
So I will say you're about as much in danger of these mirrors, like wherever you're standing in this park. However, you are fairly close. That you aren't standing directly in the mirror's paths, but like you are like very. I think you're closer to Herald than you are to the rings, but you are still like close enough that you could be like hit at any moment.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna keep calling this bluff, but I'm also gonna go ahead and pass it to Jackie.
Okay.
Don't
like
eat our friend.
not today. So it's sort of like as all of this is going on, the cryptid has just been slowly sort of like moving around and assessing like the mirrors, the people talking, like the level of heartbreak, and then puts its hands into the soil and like merges into it. And the goal here is to have my tendrils travel through the ground, erupt underneath Harold, grab him, and pull him under out of the mirror rotation and towards like and into my grasp.
Oh my god. Okay. Roll. Are you adding one of your tags?
I'm adding
Oh
my
Lord,
Eldritch
he's gonna
Tendrils
shoot.
tag.
He's gonna shit bricks.
Yeah.
Like shiny mirrored bricks.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 dice on this one.
Harold is rolling 6.
Oh my god. Okay. There's no ones.
Okay.
I have 2 6s and 2 5s.
Okay, cool. You beat him by 2.
Okay.
So, I'm guessing you want to raise his heartbeat up.
Yeah, like, okay, let me paint this picture. Like, y'all
Yes.
are having this emotion conversation with Harold, poor Harold, and there's like, it's all just been a distraction because you just erupting from the earth are just these black, like, shadow tentacles, and they wrap around his wrists, they wrap around his legs, and they wrap around his waist, and just into the earth, out of the mirror circle, and when you look over at the cryptid, like the bottom half of my body, instead of just being like multiple legs or a shadow, has sort of turned almost like into a constrictor snake, and so I just have him like I'm coiled around and into like have Harold like in my grasp, and like my skull and my face is like right there, like in his ear, and he can hear like this rumbling as the cryptid is just like, you don't get to have this. You don't take this from me. And I will raise his heartbeat.
Wait, who was that addressed to? Was that addressed
To
to Harold?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
As it moves to Harold's turn, you see the like the mirrors kind of like pulsing like towards him and then out, kind of like when you're like in a pool. I have such weird analogies. What? Anyway, like when you're in a pool and you kind of like push the water and it hits the wall and kind of comes back, like it does. It's like a wave. It kind of like pulses like in and out. Where your tendrils touch Harold, you can see like color beginning to bleed through. As Harold screams like, "Let go of me," and then he kind of like pulses into light. This is a direct attack from Harold.
Okay.
I don't think Bastion's shields are going to do much because you're
I
in
pulled it
direct
out of the
contact.
circle with the shields that were in it.
And I think he's going to spend all of his power attacking you instead of everyone. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Harold's rolling 11 dice.
Okay.
You roll against him again.
Okay. 5, 6, 7 dice for me.
Is this that tag? No, it's not that tag. Harold is not rolling well.
I only got 1 5 and a 1.
Okay. So Harold beats you, even though he rolled poorly.
Yeah.
your heart rate, I think as like his energy kind of like comes off him in this like violent visceral like burst, you feel I think you feel the soul of a heartbroken conduit. You feel like you don't feel like any
It's
like
delicious.
pain or whatever. It's delicious, but it's also rancid. And you kind of like see visions of like Harold like coming to this park like at night, and you see this massive like spectral it's kind of like a big tiger made of like blue flame, and you feel through like its resonance within Harold's soul, like you feel power, ancient power, maybe older than yours, wherever yours comes from.
Yeah, Appalachia's old as fuck, so that's a lot going on. Yeah.
And your heart rate. What are you at? You're at 7.
I'm at 7.
I think Harold is more interesting in breaking your hearts. So your heart rate's going to go up by 2.
I love it. I'm assuming that like my coil sort of releases and I'm just sort of like pushed back, and you can just see like my claws, that the anime skid across the dirt.
Yup.
And
3-point stance.
Yeah. And you see the like because I have the ribcage and the spinal cord, but you see just the scapula bone just kind of sort of form as well, and you see, instead of just the tendril fingers, like you see the skeletal hand like on top, like as if it was a glove going up to my forearms in both places, and I'm just like, oh buddy, it's on.
So I just rolled Bastion's roll. He got no successes.
Oh boy.
I think although he did roll a 1, and this isn't player versus player. Okay, yes. So like I think like he was like standing close by, and you watch as they get hit a little bit by Harold's kind of like outburst. That's a good name for it. Outburst.
Yeah, it's an
anyway.
outburst.
And the shields kind of like retract instinctively to like cover Bastion, as they kind of like are they're also pushed back, not as dramatically, but they're pushed back, and they have the shields like around them, like defending them from all this energy. Because they rolled a 1, and because character interest, Sirius, as you see this, your heart rate goes up.
All right, that puts me at an 8.
You feel power brimming underneath your skin, like just waiting to be released.
It's like an itch. I can feel myself. Everything in me knows that this is probably the time to transform. This is getting serious. Jackie is like 3/4 of the way to the Wendigo. Like, we are well past not deer and well into oh shit deer. Oh no.
Definitely not a deer.
Definitely not a fucking deer.
Decidedly not deer.
And I still can't do it. I know. Look, I can see the color. I can see it bleeding in. I know I can reach Harold. We can reach Harold. This is my friend. I can't. And I think I want to go ahead and use my special. Can I use my special move without transforming? Sailor Moon can.
That's a good enough argument for me.
Sailor Moon can.
Well, I mean, I feel like Sailor Moon can is a really strong argument.
That's valid here.
My special
Fairly
move
valid.
is Pure Soul.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah. So for those of you who do not know, let me go ahead and tell y'all. I'll act it out in a minute, but let me just tell you what Pure Soul does.
Actually,
Pure Soul.
read it out.
Good. Lets me call to an ally and they can hear me no matter where they are. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh, it does something else. I'll let that be an excellent surprise. But I'm going to go ahead and extend no matter where they are to mean seriously that I can reach Harold.
I like
Maybe
it.
not for very long, but that I can reach Harold through the heartbreak just for a minute.
Okay. Do you know what? Okay. Yes. I'm going to say instead of 3, for reasons I will explain to the chat in a second, I think because Harold does not technically count as an ally, but I like your argument, you raise it by 2. So for chat, so they have to get his heart rate up to 14, and with those 2, right now it's at 13. They need 1 more. What do you say to Harold as you call out to him?
All right. So Harold and Jackie are squaring off. They've blasted power at each other. Jackie is boned up. We are minutes from blood spilling. We are on the verge of disaster. And all I can think is that this is my family. I don't have it in me to watch them literally tear at each other. And even though the mirrors are still swirling and they're in the way, I'm going to dash directly across the field. I'm not watching for where they are. They're catching the edge of my clothes. I done lost my bonnet. One of them came a little too close. My hair's all princessy out. This is an anime. I've lost the bonnet. Hair streaming behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and throw myself across the field and grab Harold in a hug. Great big hug. Tuck his head under my chin because I am a big bitch. And I'm gonna lean down and whisper in his ear, I've got you. We're not letting you go, Harold. I believe in you. We've got you.
You'll watch as like Harold like does that kind of like scream again. There's no words, there's no like magic outburst, and all the mirrors like kind of like shatter and begin to coalesce. Like they like shatter, they kind of like merge a little bit and begin to coalesce as you see like above Harold and Jackie and Sirius, a heart begins to form. 13 pieces all jigsawed together with one swirling around it, still coated in
so cool.
well, like that begins to like burn with this like monochrome flame. Jackie, it looks similar to the flame that you saw on this tiger, but just black and white. Would you, again, completely ignoring the rules of team attacks, would you all like to finish this with a team attack?
Always.
There's a single heart left. There's a fucking tiger.
Yeah.
The tiger isn't here. The tiger was just a flashback.
The tiger was a flashback. Okay.
Okay, because I was about to start playing the bass line from Eye of the Tiger, but
No.
that changes things slightly.
So real quick, what sense did I get of the importance of this tiger? Was it warm and loving? Did he love this tiger or did he hate this tiger?
So you get the sense that this tiger was the pulse that broke Harold's heart, that like got him to the point where his heart shattered.
Gotcha. Okay. We have to get that last heart piece into the heart, the last shard. Hold up, the cat wants to leave. Someone else think of something. My special move is cool tactics, but I didn't really set up a trap, so hey, you want to get the fuck out of here? Go. Leave. I'm working.
Like the cat ever gives a fuck.
With Izzy's whole thing, they're going to just go and kind of join the hug and try and overflow him with emotion.
That's what I think we should do. Group
We're gonna hug it out.
Pile on that hug.
And we have to make sure you can't escape the hug.
Although
well, it's both a hug and a restraint at the same time.
Hugs are a form of grapple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so, like, are you powering up, like, hugging, but also, like, channeling your power through the hug?
Well, Izzy's powers turn to her normal color when she goes to give the big hug, if that's anything.
I think he's going to power... When I join, I think he's going to power down. Like, let Alex come back out for this. I think that would be most effective for Harold, maybe, to see all of us as we are. So, yeah.
Jackie's physically incapable right now, but has an idea.
He dropped the base and just walks into this hug, and Axel recedes, and Alex puts his arms around Izzy and Sirius and Harold and joins in this big hug.
Kind of where the cryptid's at, it opens its mouth like super, super, super wide and pulls a bagel out off of its tongue. And doesn't necessarily like join in the hug, but just crawls over, like, you know, it doesn't have any back legs right now, just its forearms, so it just like kind of like a naga, like crawls over and just like holds up this bagel to Harold's face, and it's just like, not myself when I'm hungry either. It's okay, have a snack. Like,
I'm done. Harold, like, crushed between, like, under the weight of those who were his friends and those who will be his friends once again, kind of, like, looks at the bagel and takes a bite out of it. And as he does, I'm not going to make you roll for it, that would be ridiculous. He begins to glow with this multicolored light, like every color in the rainbow, and the heart, the 14th shard just kind of like slots neatly into place as color returns to Harold, and as color like floods this park, and that energy of heartbreak that you've been feeling this entire time finally fades away as you have saved Harold.
backs off.
Like, Alex breathes like a big sigh and backs away, and then as he does, Axel pops back in and goes, "What the fuck, man?" Axel, not now. Be cool. You didn't mean it. I'll talk to Axel, Harold. Don't worry. You're fine. You don't have to explain anything.
Harold looks exhausted as he kind of like pants like, I'm sorry, there was a pulse. It overwhelmed me. Before, like, I barely transformed, and before I knew what was happening, like, crash, that, me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's really okay, man. It's, you know, I meant it. Like, it could happen to any of us, you know, and when it does, we're all, or if it does, you know, I'm not going to say when, if it does, we'll all be here to help each other, right? Just like we helped you. We'll get you out of it. And he like looks around to the whole group. Right?
Izzy is going to bring Bastion kind of over more into the little group happiness circle.
Yeah.
And then there's going to pop out slightly, but not fully, just back away a little. And then Sirius and Bastion and Harold kind of restore their calm.
I think like Bastion isn't like properly like joining the group hug. He's kind of just like patting like Harold on the head. Like Harold is how old are Jackie and Alex again?
Alex is 19.
And I'm
Okay.
21.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Harold is between the two of you in age. So there's like obviously like a large age gap, and like just kind of like a protective older sibling is just kind of like gently like just kind of like just tending to Harold. Doesn't say anything. Just Sirius, what about you?
So I'm going to. I am a mess now. I have started to cry. I'm crying very quietly, but I have started to cry, and I'm going to lean down and whisper, "You owe me a new fucking bonnet." That's all she's got. That's all she's got right now. She's trying to maintain her shit, but she's on the thin edge. Because unlike everyone else who, when they transform, their heartbeat's going to go back down. This is where I am right now. I am me at 8, and I'm really feeling it. I've still got that trapped, anxious, magic feeling underneath me. My heartbeat's still up, and I'm there. I'm trying to cry it out, maybe, and not be seen doing it, even though I'm in the middle of everyone.
So everyone can very clearly see that you're crying.
Yes.
I think Harold will like obviously while he was heartbroken he wasn't returning the hug. But like now he kind of like looks at you and just kind of like puts his like kind of like reaches up, like puts his arms around your shoulders and just kind of like comes in for like a tight hug. Yeah. I think unless there's anything specific people want to do, I think with this shot of all 6 of you in this like random park, like in
I am not hugging anyone.
That's fine.
Because listen, the cryptid said some cryptid shit just now to Harold. And I kind of think that there's like a point where things are calming their shit down, like whoever is in the body of its best friend feels like that coldness of bone like sort of press against the back of your palm, Axel Alex. Almost like a dog with like its nose booping you.
On my hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Alex now, so Alex like feels that, and is it from behind, like so turns around? Yeah, and
Yeah.
looks, breaks away from the hug and from like the love circle and turns around. What's going on?
I want to go home.
You want to go home?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, if everything's cool now, we're really beat and we've had a long night and we just kind of want to go home, so we're gonna take off. Okay.
I pull back and I wipe at my face. I'm like, yeah, do you guys need a ride? I brought you out here. Do you want me to take you home?
Yeah, no, we're fine. Serious, thanks. We'll make it back.
My skeleton is not depleted.
Okay.
Sentence.
Run it off. Call me if you need me. Just let me know if you get home. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely will. I promise.
The cryptid just literally like offers its back for Axel to ride upon like a steed.
And Alex is like, "This is new." Okay. Before he leaves, though, he looks to the Wendigo, and just says like, "Just 1 minute, okay?" And he walks over to Sirius. Hey, first of all, are you okay?
Um, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
So you're not fine, but you will be, and I know you will be. Could you do me a favor and just keep an eye on Izzy?
Yeah.
They haven't said anything, but just something's not right. And I don't want to see what happened tonight happen again anytime soon. So I don't know. I don't really know what I'm asking here. Just, you know.
Yeah, no, I'll talk to him on the way home. I'll talk to him on the way home.
Okay, cool. And, text me if you need anything, okay?
I will. You guys be safe.
We will. All right, bye. And he gives Sirius a hug. And then hops on a fucking Wendigo and goes right.
Just like
As you do.
As you do.
Hi ho, Silver.
And by home, like it doesn't take you back to your house. It takes you back to their van. And by the time like they sort of get there, like when they sort of like land into the campsite, like they're Jackie again. But it's weird. It's weird.
You okay, Jack?
I think the cryptid wants to eat all of you.
If you want to cut to another scene,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Alex is like has no idea what to say to that, so there is a long silence.
Also, that's a good cutting point anyway.
That is a
I
great
I did it on purpose.
I actually think Sirius and Izzy, do you want to have that conversation in the car ride home now, or would you like to start with it next week?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with it. We can do it now if you're up for it.
Okay. So I'm going to. It's just me and Izzy in the car. We were right by Bastion and Harold's place. So we're gonna say that Bastion took Harold home to rest, and I'm taking Izzy home. So Izzy in the car, and I'm driving at a reasonable speed for once, which is in itself a sign that I'm shaken because I'm doing the speed limit. I'm not trying to tell I'm not trying to do my ha ha ha. I'll just tell cops I'm a hero thing. I'm driving like I have common sense. I'm sitting up straight, hands at 10 and 2. Like I'm a good driver.
Both hands on the wheel, even.
Both hands on the wheel. And got music on, but it's really kind of quiet, and I'm watching you out the corner of my eye. So how are you doing, Izzy?
Fine. By the way, Izzy has giant paint stains on the clothes they were wearing yesterday that are obviously slept in. And they're obviously a big lying liar pants, but you know.
Hey, well, you look tired, honey. Do you do you want to come crash at my place for the night? Maybe if your machine's broken, you can use mine, do some laundry. I can let you borrow some
What?
sweatpants.
Oh, I was yeah, that'd be fine. I have to go to the laundromat usually, so
I mean, that's terrible. Why don't you just start coming to my house? You can do laundry at my place. We'll watch a movie. You know, you save $25.
just about.
Please,
It's
I remember doing laundry. I know exactly how expensive it used to be.
I know. Um, dang it, words. Why do you jump from my mind when I open mouth? I guess are you really did something amazing there. How are you okay?
I'm fine. You guys are my family, right, Izzy? Like, of course I did that for Harold, but I would have done that for you too, right? I
Um,
couldn't, I can't imagine ever lifting my hammer against any of you.
um, I think we're gonna cut there because Izzy's not going to answer that question.
In which case, we um, our camera leaves you, Izzy and Sirius, the awkward silence filling this car as we rise up once again, looking top down at the city of Fantasy Vancouver. The
That's what Vancouver is. It
intersecting
pretends to be everything else except itself. So
the intersecting gridlocks, those aren't words, the grid of like streets and alleyways and roads and buildings, and we see, jumping from point to point, a massive blue tiger set aflame, disturbing no one, for no one can see it. And our camera swoops in and zooms down on this tiger, kind of like standing between two buildings in a dark alleyway, eyes closed. And as we zoom in on the face, onto one of the eyes, let's say the left eye, it opens, and instead of a normal eye, we see almost like a stained glass relief. Specifically, what I'm thinking of is, the Kingdom Hearts stage in Smash Bros. When it goes to the stained portraits of like all the different characters, we see one, Bastion, not in his armor, but instead of her shields, she is wielding a giant great sword wreathed in flames. We see Jackie, cryptid form, losing control. We see Axel, full demon, like destruction and fire wherever he goes. We see Izzy fully realizing whatever changes were happening in that fight. Yes, this is a very bad kitty. Manifesting those blacks and reds and surrounded by notes that have a jagged quality to them. Who am I missing? I'm only missing Sirius.
Me?
Okay, and finally we see Sirius. No changes whatsoever. That same those same beautiful wings, that same beautiful costume, that same beautiful hammer. And then the image flips, and we see Sirius, hammer tossed to the side, wings taken off like they were just strap-ons, wearing her normal, everyday baker's clothes, just walking away, the remnants of her powers left behind her. All in beautiful stained glass, which is very impressive. If it was
Very
real.
impressive, yeah.
Mm-hmm. These are very talented eyes.
And the eye closes, and our camera cuts to black.
Y'all can't see my shook face, but like I'm straight fucked up right now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And that's where we end. Episode. What episode are we on? Are we on episode 3?
Dre.
Episode 3 of The Rifts.
Oh, man. We're already episode 3 and we're in this deep shit.
Yeah, we got some stuff happening later.
Oh man, wow, that was fucking fantastic. So despite our technical gremlins, we were able to do this, and I'm so glad that we did, everyone, because we're taking 2 weeks off from the stream because I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be sipping tequila and eating tacos for 2 weeks. So we will be back with this particular stream on the 25th, so 3 weeks from now, with episode 4 continuing on. However, we're still not done with the week, as you can catch me back tomorrow. We will be playing some Dragon Age at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, and then Defiant at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which are also just as insane and incredible, because the Dragon Age game, my boyfriend just became a Grey Warden, and we have a baby dragon. And then for Defiant, somebody stole a dragon horde, and that's just a terrible thing to do. And that city is taking place that game takes place in like ancient Seattle. So like we have like Vancouver and just 3 hours south. I think this is happening. And the
That's
mountains
so
about
funny.
to blow. So listen, the Pacific
ENW.
Northwest is an underutilized area for settings, okay? Because it's Appalachia is scary, but Bigfoot doesn't live there. Okay, there's no active volcanoes. There are here. So
As you said, though, the Pacific Northwest is in lots of things. It's just pretending to be somewhere else.
it's just
in
pretending
Vancouver.
to be somewhere else.
Oh, Portland too. They love to shoot here for LA.
Yeah, like
Oh,
they
yeah.
just like to pretend to be other things and not each other. Vancouver even pretends to be Seattle. Okay,
Mhm.
it is a 3-hour drive.
Do they have like really good like tax incentives for filmmakers or something?
Mhm.
Yes.
They
cut 'em
do
good
for a
breaks.
while. Mostly we just have a lot of television filmed up here. But that being said, that's what's happening on the channel tomorrow, and then we will be back in 2 weeks. But everyone else, since we're not going to see y'all for a few weeks, what are y'all doing in the next couple of weeks? What's the plan for your spaces? All of that, going in the opposite direction. So, Colin, go ahead, friend. You're first.
Hey, what do I got going on? Oh, well, I just put out a game. Public release. Public release was this past Tuesday, the 1st of February. It's a game called Ray Cats. About swole, sexy, nuclear radiated, glowing cat people. If it sounds weird, well, watch Thundercats. It's about as weird as Thundercats. It's kind of the same thing. In a post-apocalyptic future, and it's so much fun. And it's funny, as I was saying this, a couple things happened during this stream. So I got my first review of the game came out. Someone did a cool TikTok review, which was awesome. And the game is now available on drive-thru. So you can get everything by my company, Six String Games. You can get on drive-thru RPG. You can get it on itch, and you can check out. Well, our website's still in the works right now, but in the future you'll be able to buy it direct from us on the website too. And I have, as far as streaming goes, Monday nights I do a stream on Infinite RP in a game of Flames of Freedom, which is it's like Revolutionary War, but American Revolutionary War, I should specify. There's been a lot of Revolutionary Wars. American Revolutionary War, but meets like Call of Cthulhu, like spooky shit going on too. So that's Mondays on Infinite RP at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I just want to plug the fact that I'm working right now. Like one of the next games I have coming out is I'm working on a game called The Trees Tell No Tales, which I think is a badass title. That's a Blair Witch Project RPG, and I'm incredibly excited for this game. I'm also working on a game called Altitude that is a game about two people climbing Everest and probably dying in the process. So I've got a bunch of really heavy horror and drama coming up from my company, Six String Games, in the future. Check us out on Twitter. It's my handle you can see on the screen here at Six String Games. If you're interested in me personally, Colin, check me out at Colinomicon on Twitter to find out everything I'm doing. And that's all for me.
I believe I'm next then. I am not doing a lot right now because a bunch of life things have happened. But I hope to, in whatever the next season's called, a spring, except they sometimes call this spring 20. In like April or May, I plan to be doing more stuff. For now, I'm on Twitter. The link's up there, and I'll post other things I'm in or other things friends are doing that are cool.
All right. So hi, I'm Arnica. I was playing Sirius Scarborough today, and you couldn't see it, but I did the whole episode in my bonnet. Bonnets in real life, bonnets in pretend life. It was a bonnet night, and it was glorious. You can find me and my bonnet on Twitter at Arnica X Ross. You can find me here, primarily just doing this, although I may have some stuff in the works. On Twitch at LFloyd83, and we're gonna go ahead and bump it to our amazing GM Rook, who led us on such a great story tonight. Rook, take it away.
Hi, I'm Rook. As always, I've been your storyteller. You can find me at RJK Games. I'm also not doing much right now because I don't understand how audio editing works. But as soon as I do, you'll be able to catch my my first podcast, By Me to the Earth, which is a solo Ironsworn actual play podcast, which I will be completely overhauling as soon as I figure out how audio editing works. So, you can follow me on Twitter and keep up with all updates on that and a lot of complaining.
I mean, fair. Listen, audio editing and engineering is a completely separate monster, right? It's a cryptid in its own right. With that, everyone, thank you again once for coming and showing up. We're gonna say hello to our friends over with Friends Who Roll Dice. My friend Ray is running this, what looks like a charity game right now. And they're playing a game a Hades-inspired Blades in the Dark 4-shot.
Oh,
cool.
I love it.
I am highly interested. So with
Yes.
that, my friends, we will see you later. Bye.